Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Deadly young and restless twist. Is this how they're writing off Connor Floyd as Chance? We had to find out from this revealing preview video that Kane had invited Chance to his party in Nice, and suddenly we found ourselves concerned that he may never make it back home to Genoa City. Young and restless Connor Floyd, who has played the role of Chance Chancellor since 2021, is set to leave the CBS Sudsor, and has already started filming on another soap. Floyd is headed to Days of Our Lives to take on the role of Chad DiMera, left vacant by Billy Flynn, who is now playing a recast Kane Ashby on Y and R. While we're happy for Floyd landing such a juicy part, the news also got our hackles up and our soapy senses a tingle, knowing that Young and Restless will have to find a way to write off Chance. They could, of course, just keep the character off-screen, mentioning the cop whenever a crime is committed as they did with Paul Williams, but new developments suggest that won't be the case. We weren't the only ones puzzled by Chance's invitation to the French Riviera. The other guests were just as perplexed. We all know Ashby wants Chancellor Industries, but Chance is no longer associated with the company and wouldn't be much help in acquiring it. It wasn't long until we got an answer, however, and a totally unexpected and shocking one at that. Kane told Chance that he had brought him there as a detective as he believed that before the week was out, someone would try to murder him. It's difficult to imagine who among the gathered guests would have it in for Kane on such an extreme level. There must be more to this story. Perhaps it has something to do with the bad news Adam is about to deliver to Victor, or maybe one of his late father's gangster associates is after him. Regardless, now the only thing between Kane and possible death is Chance. It's not a great place to be, especially when the character in question is poised to leave the canvas because the actor playing him has left the soap. Might Chance get himself killed in the line of duty whilst protecting Kane? Is Young and Restless planning to write off Chance permanently? If so, poor Nina, it wouldn't hurt to prepare yourselves, folks. Because there's a decent chance the soap is about to close the chapter on one of the last remaining chancellors. If there's one thing The Young and the Restless does better than any other soap, it's keeping fans perpetually guessing. And with a recent twist in Genoa City, viewers can't help but ask, is the end near for Connor Floyd's Chance Chancellor? Over the past few weeks, subtle but strategic storytelling choices have quietly shifted Chance to the margins. And now, an ominous event, one that could spell disaster, has fans buzzing that we might be witnessing a slow burn setup for a shocking exit. Whether it's a hero's farewell, a tragic turn, or something even darker, the writing is, quite literally, on the wall. So, what's really going on behind the scenes? And is this truly the end of the road for Chance? Or a clever fake-out with bigger consequences? Let's dive into what's pointing toward a potentially deadly twist and what it could mean for Connor Floyd's run on YNR, and beyond. A pattern emerges. The isolation of Chance Chancellor. For months, Chance has been drifting, emotionally, professionally, and narratively. His relationships, from his crumbling romance with Sharon to the fractured connection with Abby, have all but dissolved. His ties to law enforcement have been vague at best, with his latest career choice placing him in a more ambiguous, reactive role. And despite his iconic family name, he's had virtually zero involvement in any major Chancellor family storylines. Soap operas often write characters into a corner before making bold moves, and fans have noticed how Young and Restless has started painting Chance as expendable. Connor Floyd, who took over the role in 2021 following Donnie Boaz's exit, brought a quiet strength and soft charm to the legacy character. But lately, Chance has been little more than a sounding board, or worse, a placeholder. The setup, a dangerous case and a bad omen in a classic YNR sleight of hand. The groundwork for Chance's potential exit might already be laid. Recent episodes have hinted at a dangerous new investigation, one that involves the mysterious Aristotle Dumas and some unsanctioned activity that Victor Newman and other power players are desperate to keep quiet. Chance, of course, being the moral compass that he is, refuses to look the other way. But herein lies the problem. He may be the only one standing in the path of a dangerous man with limitless reach. As Chance digs deeper into a case the audience barely understands yet, the foreshadowing becomes impossible to ignore. In one particularly chilling moment, Nate warns Chance to be careful who he trusts. And when Chance dismisses the warning, joking that he's been through worse, it reads less like bravado and more like classic soap foreshadowing. Is this set up for a martyr's exit, Connor Floyd's future, and the signs of a farewell arc? While the show hasn't officially announced any casting shakeups, eagle-eyed fans have noticed that Connor Floyd has been absent from press appearances, cast reunions, and social media teases about upcoming story arcs. Compare that to the visibility of other leads like Bryton James, Devon, Melissa Ordway, Abby, and Rory Gibson, Noah, and the contrast is striking. It wouldn't be the first time YNR made a stealthy exit move, just ask fans of Hunter King, Michael Mealer, or even Miss Hale Morgan, who returned briefly after her departure was quietly handled off-screen. So, is this just a temporary storyline, cooling off, or are writers slowly wrapping Chance's arc with the kind of finality that only a body bag or memorial montage can bring? Behind the scenes buzz, we're telling a hero's story. A source close to production tells us that big decisions were made earlier this year regarding several cast members, and that one male character will face a life-or-death choice that affects the entire canvas. That description fits Chance to a T. He's the only one with active ties to law enforcement, has personal history with multiple major characters, Abby, Sharon, Devon, and just enough moral backbone to sacrifice himself for someone else's safety. You'll see a dramatic shift after the Dumas storyline reaches its peak, the source teases. And it's going to leave Genoa City reeling. We're telling a hero's story. Fans are already speculating that this could culminate in a tragic twist, Chance saving someone, perhaps Sharon, Dominic, or even Victor, and paying the ultimate price. It's the kind of move that would restore the Chancellor name's heroic legacy, and give Connor Floyd a powerful send-off. Continued in next message, continued from previous, the clues are in the camera work. Soap fans know, when directors start lingering on a character's expressions, pairing them with melancholic music or nostalgic references, something big is brewing. And YNR has been doing just that with Chance. From quiet moments of reflection in Crimson Lights to moody lighting in scenes with Sharon, he's being framed like a man out of time, or one at the end of the line. In one standout scene, Chance looks around the Chancellor mansion with a distant gaze, brushing his fingers along a family photo. No dialogue. Just emotion. It felt less like foreshadowing and more like a farewell tour. It's the kind of visual storytelling this show only reserves for exits with impact. Think Neil Winters, Cassie Newman, or even Ray Rosales, and the question becomes, why give these moments to Chance now, unless his time is running out? The writing on the wall, a hero's fall or a last-minute save, let's game out the possibilities. Chance dies while investigating Dumas. This is the most straightforward outcome. He uncovers too much, gets too close to the truth, and is killed. Possibly even in an explosion, shootout, or cover-up made to look like an accident. It would devastate Sharon and Abby, rattle Devon and Victor, and light a fire under others to finish what he started. Chance is gravely injured and sent away. He's badly wounded, and though he survives, he's written off the canvas with a transfer to a long-term care facility, rehab center, or protection program. This gives the show flexibility. Floyd could return down the line, or the role could be recast. Fake death twist a third option. Chance fakes his death to take down Dumas from the inside, possibly with the help of Victor or Nate. This would be the most soaptastic outcome, a high-stakes twist with potential for a surprise comeback down the road. Chance leaves Genoa City for good, the quietest option, though not in line with the recent tone. Maybe he simply decides law enforcement, and GC, isn't for him. He leaves to find peace or a purpose elsewhere, a nod to the PTSD and loss that has haunted the character since his military days, but the most likely? That first one. A death. That means something. A death that sparks ripple effects. A death that makes us say, wow, I didn't see that coming, but it fits. What Connor Floyd has said, and what he hasn't. Curiously, Floyd has remained silent amid growing fan concern. His social media presence, once filled with behind-the-scenes selfies and celebratory posts, has gone quiet. His last Y&R-related post was over 2 months ago. And while other castmates like Melissa Ordway and Brighton James routinely share filming pics and hints, Floyd hasn't commented on any recent episodes. One fan even noted on a fan forum, it feels like he's already calls and acting workshops in Los Angeles. Not unusual, but noteworthy for a contracted actor still presumed to be on the show. Is he preparing for life after Genoa City? Soap exit. Archetypes. Where Chance fits in, soap characters tend to leave in one of several tried and true ways. The villain gets what's coming, the hero sacrifices himself, the lover leaves broken-hearted, the long-lost son returns and leaves again, the secret agent disappears. Chance fits more than one of these. He's a hero, sure, but also a man defined by internal conflict. He's lived in the shadow of his lineage, Nina, Philip, and the Chancellor name. He's been a soldier, a cop, a romantic, and a father figure. But what he hasn't been is truly settled. That lack of emotional anchor makes him ideal for a grand, noble, and final act. The ripple effect. How a Chance exit could shake Genoa City if the worst-case scenario plays out. The emotional aftermath could be seismic. Sharon will be devastated. She's already lost Ray. Losing Chance could push her toward another breakdown, or into the arms of someone unexpected. Nick again. Dumas? Abby would feel guilt, confusion, and a renewed protective instinct over Dominic. She and Devon might either pull closer or spiral, Devon might finally step up as Dominic's father. With all the tension and complications that implies, Victor could seek revenge, putting him further on a collision course with Dumas. Nina, if she returns, would provide powerhouse emotional scenes. A mother burying her son, again, and from a story perspective? It lights a fuse under multiple plots, and opens the door for new alliances, grudges, and grief-driven transformation. Continued in next message, continued from previous, the legacy factor. A Chancellor exit with Mia Ninja. It's impossible to talk about Chance's potential death without acknowledging the legacy weight it would carry. He's a Chancellor, a name that once meant something in Genoa City. Catherine Chancellor was the grande dame of the show, and Philip Chancellor II's death decades ago still reverberates in the show's history. By giving Chance a powerful, dramatic exit, the writers would essentially be closing the chapter on the Chancellor line, or at least pausing it until Dominic grows up. It would also honor what YNR does best, using one character's tragedy to galvanize the ensemble and shift the entire balance of the canvas. Fans who remember Philip's funeral or Catherine's wake know how cathartic those moments were. The show is due for a centerpiece storyline with that kind of emotional punch, and Chance's death would deliver exactly that. The actor's journey. Connor Floyd's time as Chance. When Connor Floyd stepped into the role in 2021, he had enormous shoes to fill, and a fanbase still mourning the loss of Donnie Boaz and uncertain about a new iteration of the character. But Floyd quickly won over viewers with his understated warmth, physical presence, and emotional accessibility. He didn't play Chance as a swaggering hero. He played him as a man trying to heal, someone who wasn't sure where he fit anymore, but who kept showing up. Whether it was PTSD, navigating fatherhood with Dominic, or the slow-burn romance with Sharon, Floyd gave Chance depth and dignity. If this is indeed his curtain call, it's one he's earned. A final arc where Chance saves lives, uncovers corruption, and dies doing what he believes is right? It's exactly the kind of soapy, noble ending that turns a character into a legend, and for Floyd, it could mean a transition to primetime, film, or even another daytime role in the future. The fans react, they better not kill him. Across fan forums, Reddit threads, and Twitter/X, viewers are not quiet about what feels like an impending doom for Chance. If they kill off Chance, I'm done with this show. He's the last good guy left. At Soap Addict Genoa, you mean to tell me Chance is finally getting interesting, and now they're gonna blow him up? Classic YNR. User red lipstick on coffee. Soap Central. It's giving Ray Rosales 2.0. How many times can Sharon be widowed before we get her some peace? At Team Chic Forever, some fans are also theorizing that the twist could actually involve someone else dying, and that all this Chance-centric worry is misdirection. Could Nate or Dumas himself be the real target of this looming tragedy? But even if it's not Chance dying, his exit feels imminent. And unless the show surprises us all, the time to prepare for goodbye might already be here. Could a recast be coming? Let's not forget that in soaps, a death doesn't always mean the end. If Connor Floyd is exiting, it doesn't automatically mean the character of Chance Chancellor is being shelved for good. With Dominic still on canvas, and the Chancellor estate still tied to many major families, the role could easily be recast down the line. Perhaps with a darker, more jaded Chance returning after years away, a man changed by war, betrayal, or secrets. It wouldn't be the first time YNR pulled off a dramatic character reinvention, but for now, it seems the Floyd chapter is closing, and if it is, it's going out with a literal bang. The bottom line, brace for impact in the coming weeks, we'll know for sure. Soap exits are rarely slow burns without payoff. If Connor Floyd is indeed being written off YNR, the story will demand a showstopper, and all signs point to that being the case. Between the Dumas investigation, the deepening sense of dread, and Chance's increasing emotional isolation, the clues are too glaring to ignore. Whether he dies a hero, disappears in secret, or goes out guns blazing, one thing's for sure, Genoa City won't be the same without him, and as we prepare for the possibility of a funeral, a vigil, or a shocking twist, we can only hope the show does justice to the man, the legacy, and the quiet heart that Connor Floyd brought to the role. Final thoughts. What we'll miss about Connor Floyd's Chance: his quiet strength. Chance never needed to shout to be heard. Floyd's performance was full of subtle power, his love for Dominic. Few characters in GC embodied what it meant to be a father like Chance, even if the child wasn't biologically his. His chemistry with Sharon, short-lived, yes, but natural and heartfelt. His integrity. In a town full of schemers, Chance was one of the last true good guys. If this is goodbye, we'll say it with gratitude, and a whole lot of tissues. Coming up next on The Young and the Restless, could a funeral bring back familiar faces? Nina, Philip III, even Ronan Malloy? And is Victor about to declare all-out war on Dumas? Buckle up, because the fallout from this twist will be one for the ages.